Hi, welcome to Programming with Mash. In this session, we will get acquainted with buttons, touchables, and pressable and their features. In the previous session, we got acquainted with text input and keyboard and used the content written by the user dynamically. Now create a button below text input and display the text entered by the user by clicking on it. We used the button component in previous sessions, which imports from React Native. It's necessary to have a title in it, so we consider a title for it. I give the text input a margin to move the button away from it. We define unpress for the button to do what we want by clicking. The function inside it can be defined inline or separately. Now we define a state to save the click of the submit button in it and set its initial value to false. In the function we defined, we set its value as opposed to its current value. In this way, by clicking the button again, its value becomes false. I changed the previous text related to our needs and place it so that if the submit button was clicked, it would be displayed. I also changed the title of the button according to the click of the button. As you can see, clicking once will display the text with the value inside text input, and clicking second time will clear the text. Using disable prop, we can disable the button. If we set its value equal to submitted, the button will be deactivated the first time we click on the button. As we said before, the button component doesn't get styled, but we can change its color by using the color prop. Due to the small features of the button component, we can use alternative components such as touchables instead. Let's start with touchable opacity. These components are not buttons, but we can use them as buttons using a style. Inside it, we create a text with the title value of the previous button and give it the desired style. Define unpress like the previous button. Now we give it a style to make it look like a button. As you can see, it acts like a button for us and also gives the feeling of being pressed. In fact, touchable opacity is a clickable view that reduces its opacity when clicked. The opacity value is determined by the active opacity prop, which is 0.2 by default. Its value can be between 0 and 1, and the closer it's to 1, the higher its opacity. The next component is touchable highlight, which works similarly to touchable opacity, except that it can display a custom color in the background when clicked. We can specify the color using the underlay color prop. The next component is touchable without feedback, and as its name implies, it doesn't give feedback to the user when clicked and doesn't induce a sense of clicking. It also doesn't accept a style, but we can do a styling by using a view inside it. React Native recently offers the pressable component as a button. We define text and onPress similar to what we said before. If we give it button style, it works similar to touchable without feedback. I remove the color from its style to define it dynamically in the style. In this way, we can define an array of style objects in a component. This component always returns a state called pressed that notifies its click status. If we use it in a function like this, we can change its color when it's in the pressed state. If we refer to the document of this component, we can see the functions that exist in its props for clicking. When clicked for a moment, it leads to onPress. And when held for 500 milliseconds, long press actually happens. If we change the onPress prop to onLongPress, nothing happens with a momentary click, and we have to hold it to run the onPress handler function. Using delay long press prop, we can change the default value from 500 milliseconds. Another feature that the pressable component gives us is that we can also click around it to make it easier for the user to click. These two props can be used to do this. For example, using hit slop, I click around it this way. You can also use disabled prop to disable it. Another prop that this component provides us is Android Ripple, which creates a ripple effect on Android devices. Its value will be the color of the ripple effect. As you can see, this component has much better features for use a button. So there we go, we got acquainted with the components that use as buttons and how to use them. So in the next video, we will talk about display alert and messages for the user. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to share, subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next session.